Hey, what's up? It's just Gems. I wanted to share something with you that I've been following on Twitter and that has now come to a head. Back in September, a lot of people were posting and sharing tweets regarding a serial killer in Kansas City, Missouri, saying that he was targeting black women and to be careful. And they had been trying to highlight it and saying that they weren't getting any media coverage, nobody's reporting on it, community activists weren't speaking up, and all of that. So they had been sounding the alarm since September. And I'm going to share a video with you based on fair use guidelines to just show what was happening. The video was uploaded into Twitter on September 28th. But let's listen.
The reason I'm upset is because I am a little upset right now. The reason I'm upset is because we got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week here off of 85th and Prospect. We got a serial killer again, and ain't nobody saying nothing. The media's not covering it. We got 3 young ladies that are missing. Ain't nobody saying a word. What is the problem? Why can't we get some cooperation? Where's our community leaders? Where's our activists? Where's our public officials? Where's our police department? Where is those folks at? In President Gardens. Come on now. We need to start knocking doors. We need to start making sure that this is brought to the light. We cannot continue to let this happen.
So while people from the community were speaking out, at the same time, here goes the Kansas City Star and other newspapers came out from the police saying that it was completely unfounded. Rumor about serial killer in Kansas is untrue, police say. Social media rumors regarding a serial killer targeting women are untrue. They came out and said all of these things were just untrue. So by the time I saw it, these stories were out saying it was untrue. So I didn't want to report on it because I didn't want to share anything that was not true or that, that I felt like, I don't want to misguide anyone. However, just goes to show you, sometimes we need to listen to our people, maybe all the time. And if it's just not true, then we just say, hey, sorry, I was doing what I thought was right. But let me show you what's happening now. A 22-year-old black woman has escaped from 39-year-old Timothy Haslett's basement while he was dropping his child off at school. And she had on some kind of plastic lingerie set with a dog collar on her neck, and she was able to make it to the neighbor's house. The neighbor said they were going to call the police, and that scared her because she said, no, he's going to get me. So she ran to a different house, and that neighbor said the grandmother told her to come inside, and they got her in and they called for help. And the lady says she's been in his basement for a month, which goes back to September. And that she was there and her friends, other young black women, didn't make it. He killed her friends. So this is in Kansas City, Missouri. So it kind of goes to the effect that the people that were saying there was a serial killer, they were correct. And now the cops are having to answer for their dismissal. They dismissed the fact that there were black women being killed and abducted. And now they're having to come back and say, oops, we couldn't confirm it, all of that. But really, we should have been listening. I know I should have as well listened to the cries of our people saying there's a serial killer here abducting black women. And when they were saying that the people were killed on certain streets, you would think that the police would be able to say, well, we can't say that for certain, but we want to tell everyone, please be careful. We do have some women that have been murdered. We don't know if it's the same murderer. They didn't say that. They just come out and say, oh, it's unfounded. There's no evidence of that. No, it's unfounded. Shut all those social media rumors down and don't worry about it. But why though? Was it because the young women that were missing didn't have the right complexion for protection? Because if there were 4 white women missing, 22-year-old white women, that would have been headline news across America. And we know it. But because it wasn't, they just, oh no, they're unfounded. Meanwhile, the community is crying out because, hey, these are our girls and they're missing. And thank God that one girl that was left made it out alive. And she did say that he raped her and abused her. And she even had marks on her back to show where she was whipped, as she stated she was. And it's just a blessing that she's here to tell her story. But I hope she gets some counseling and prayer and everything she needs to make a complete recovery, because God only knows what all she's really gone through. And this is the picture, I'm going to post that on here as well, of the bastard Timothy Haslett who did this to her. And then he has full custody of his 8-year-old son. So God only knows what his son has witnessed to and took part in. Just disgusting, caveman-like behavior. But yeah, family, I just wanted to share this with you. I didn't know if you had heard about it, but this is what's going on. And hopefully, when things like this happen and our people cry out about it, we can be taken seriously by law enforcement, by our own people, and by reporters and everybody. Because so many times Black people, we cry out about stuff and no one cares, no one hears, and we're just dismissed. That's just like Black people and their pain being dismissed in the hospital. And, that's a whole nother story. But same thing, we're crying out in pain and no one's listening. But I just wanted to share that. So make sure you hit that like button before you leave. Share the video. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for those who have already subscribed. I appreciate your support. Until next time, peace.